So it just filled up. Ready to head home. No cars. Well, so the other day, riding home at night with my girlfriend, and then a car pulls out, like I'm on the right-hand lane. Car just pulls out right in front of me. I had to go into the bike lane on the far right just to avoid him. I thought my girlfriend was right behind me, that she had to swerve, but she was already in her lane. So, but she caught it all on video because, of course, my GoPro had died. Like always, when you want to capture something cool. But anyway, so the guy cuts me off and like right in front of me, like it really was right there. So I pull up right next to him. I'm driving alongside him, trying to get his attention, just to let him know, hey, like next time just watch where you're going. Yeah, didn't want to anything else, just to let him know, like, hey, I was right there. But I'm driving alongside him, waving, trying to get his attention. He's just looking forward, like if I'm not even there. So I'm like, this guy's just ignoring me on purpose. Like he saw what he did, and now he just doesn't want to admit his fault there. And no, he just keeps going. We drove for like a good mile, me right next to him. He just going back and forth in my lane, like right next to him, just trying to get his attention. And he still would just look forward. So then I decided to follow him. He made a right up the next street. I followed him, and I did the same thing, pretty much all the way until he pulled up into, I guess near where he lived. And then he finally saw me, and he rolls down his window, and he goes, "Can I help you with something?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, can you help me with something? Like, you almost killed me back there, and I've been riding next to you, trying to get your attention for like the past, like, mile and a half." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't see you there." And then I was like, "You pulled out right in front of me. I just wanted to next time just to pay more attention." And then he got all confrontational, telling me, he's like, "Do you think I can see you with your tiny little light?" And I was like, "That has nothing to do with it. You should be paying attention twice. Bicyclists have smaller lights, and you can tell me you're not going to see them?" I was like, "And I've been driving next to you the entire way, and you still didn't even see me. So that means you're not paying attention. You're in your own little bubble in your own in a car." He's like, "That's the whole point of driving. Like, yeah, I'm in my own little world." I'm like, "No, you should be paying attention to the people around you, especially with all the blind spots you have in a car like that." And then he's like, "No," he's like, "and you bikers," and then he just started accusing me of other stuff. He's like, "Oh, and you bikers think you're above the law, weaving through cars, riding through in between the cars." I'm like, "Lane splitting?" I'm like, "Yes, it's safer." Like, I know that has nothing to do with what we're talking about now. I was like, "Right now, all you did was you cut me off." He's like, "I drive safely," and I told him that we have him on video, but I didn't have it. My girlfriend had it on hers, but she had kept going straight. I'm the one who followed him, so I told her, "Okay, hold on, let me get her to come back." And we just sat there for a cool 5 minutes while I was waiting for her to come back. And he still just denied it. And so I'm like, you know what? I didn't want to like escalate it. I just wanted to just get your attention, to let you know, like, hey, next time pay attention. It's like I didn't want to get confrontational. And he was saying like, "Oh, all bikers are assholes and whatnot, and they're aggressive and speeding and things like that." I'm like, "No, that's the stereotype that I want to get away from." So I introduced myself, told him like, "Hey, look, let's just be calm. I just wanted to let you know, like, you did pull out in front of me, whether you believe it or not. You did. Next time, just pay attention. We all want to be safe, both for our fellow riders. I just wanted his acknowledgement that he's gonna pay more attention next time." And then we went on our way. And then I went back when we actually made it home, and I was like, I really want to see this video because I know that I wasn't recording. So I was looking at the footage, and she was pretty far away, but you could still see it. Let me see if I could put it up right here. I'm gonna try to zoom in at least to where I'm at. I'm not crazy. Like, it was pretty close. Like, I really did have to avoid him. But, I mean, for now, I guess it should serve as a wake-up call for him, whether he thinks he drives safe or not. Yeah, but what got me there was I didn't see you there. You know, of course, that's all you hear. You're always going to hear that. It's too late, though. At least, good thing I was able to react in time. But yeah, so you always have to be careful, you guys. Cool thing, a little side note. I think you guys already know, my girlfriend rides her CBR 300. She got her bike after I did. And my mom used to ride, but doesn't have her license here. So she just passed her MSF course, and she's gonna be shopping for bikes soon. So watch out for that coming up. But then my aunt is also already got her gear and is taking the MSF course, and one of my friends is getting his bike too. They're all taking their courses next month, which I definitely recommend. So the MSF course, it does teach you the basics, but at least it gets you started. It teaches you what you need to know. It's better than learning bad habits off a friend and things like that. And you don't start off on big bikes, you start off on those. I think they use like Rebels. I was on a Rebel. They have Kawasaki 250 something, but yeah, so you could learn easily on those. So I always recommend that. And apparently now they made it a little harder. It's taught by Total Control Clinic. So they'll teach you basically like the fundamentals of how to get going. And I definitely recommend taking the course to anyone who's new to bikes, just because it does waive the DMV fee tests, first of all, which I heard is really hard, and it teaches you well. And one of the things that I like now, before they were strict on no late arrivals, so if you show up late to the riding course or to the classroom, you're just gonna have to reschedule for next time. And now, like, they're even stricter on that. They even put it in bold, like, on all their pamphlets, on their websites. Like, they have no refunds at all, no rescheduling. Like, you're just out if you're late. And they keep reminding you in every email that they send you. So I was like, that's interesting. Like, it's one of the requirements set by the CHP, apparently. And I was like, that's interesting. I wonder why they're so strict, even stricter now than they were before on the no late arrivals. And my mom told me that they were even counting down to lock the doors. As soon as it hit the time that the class was supposed to start, they locked the doors, and whoever was outside still lost out, lost their money now. But it's because they said, which I like, it makes sense. We're teaching them to be new riders. And you're going to be a rider. There's no such thing as I'm late, I'm going to be rushing, especially not on a bike. You're not going to be speeding because you're late. We're always going to be on time. We're always going to plan ahead. You don't just, like, it's all about the planning ahead and never being in a rush, which makes perfect sense for a rider. You see that it's going to be cloudy. You're going to make sure you have your rain gear. You're going to make sure that you're all set for whatever conditions you're going to be riding in. Same thing with the time. If you know it's going to take you a certain amount of time, you're not going to leave pretty late to be speeding, because then you're just putting yourself and others at danger too. So that's why they're pretty strict on the no late arrivals. And I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's something to take note if you're going to be taking the course. Make sure you can set aside all those times. Yeah. So hopefully, once my mom gets her bike, she's going to be riding it on the weekends, really, like more of a weekend rider than a daily commuter. So technically that means that's the second bike for me. If it's there, I'll borrow it. Don't know what it is. She hasn't even started looking. She just wants to get back on two wheels again. So that's exciting.